Okay, we are live, and I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. I don't see. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer, yours is the only package I haven't sent off yet because I had to get the paperwork to send it international, but it will go tomorrow. I promise you that. I watched I'm having trouble getting my photos from my phone to my computer. It will not pick them up. It says it will not pick them up. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. And I don't know what to do with it. Angela Branham, hello, hello. And Samantha, welcome in. Len, hello. All my yarny friends. Barbara Andrews is here. Health and healing to you, my love. And Leanie. I don't want to do this. Okay. Throw that away. Premier Yarn said, take it easy. Here's, oh, that's cute. I'm not going to wear a hat that you have to hang on to, not going to do it. I do want to show you this cute dress, though, if they have it. Yes. Look at this cute little watermelon dress. Isn't that cute? Premier Yarns has it. I've made hats like that, but that's really cute. That's really cute. Okay. I think they're wanting you to buy their fruits yarn. Sometimes they come out with something and they think, well, this is going to be a really good idea. Yeah, it's going to be a really good idea. We're going to sell a lot. And then it turns out, what do you do with it? What do you do with it? And even though they give you some suggestions, it may not be something that you want to make out of that particular yarn. So, hello, my friends. Welcome to Miss C's Cottage. I'm Miss C. This is the home of the Somebunny. Usually they're all born under the left-hand back corner. And hop around out there until I can catch them and send them off to people. Come in, leave your shoes at the door. Welcome to all of my regular visitors, and to the new visitors, leave your shoes at the door and all of your worries and your negative thoughts, because they don't belong here. Come in, find a chair, put your project bag down, and then go get yourself something to eat and drink. When you come back, put your feet up and work with us or work on your project and just soak up the love for 2 hours. And when you leave, if you brought a bucket, fill that bucket up with all that love that was in here and take it with you so that you see people on the road or in the parking lot or your neighbors or whatever that need a scoop of love in their empty buckets. You'll have plenty. Okay, last week we were working on the body of a bunny body. Whew. And we got this far. And we just got to his poochy belly. And this, I never can get my, I have a cigar box on here, And then my computer is up on the cigar box so that it's up high enough. And I don't know. It gets moved around. I don't know how it gets moved around like that, but it do. And then everything gets cattywampus. So today we're going to finish this body because we've got a lot of new people here that have never made a bunny or a buddy. Now, a buddy is a different animal. It's an amigurumi animal, but a buddy, somebody is an animal. A Somebunny is an actual crocheted rabbit. And I give them to people so they know somebody loves them. But you could also make a cat or a dog or a monkey or a giraffe or a llama or a bear or whatever, and give them to someone so that they know somebody loves them. It's like an emotional support chicken, only it's not a chicken. Nisi! And my favorite pea in the whole world. Okay, if you live in Talcott, West Virginia. If you live in Conway, South Carolina. If you live in Concord, North Carolina. If you live in Hackettstown, New Jersey, or Little Ferry, New Jersey, or if you live in Clarksburg, Maryland, or if you live in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Gulf Breeze, Florida, or Longview, Texas, be sure to watch the mail tomorrow. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The rest of you can sit on your hands until I call your state. No, that's not nice. Okay, your surprise for the day, and I want to get into it, but I'm not going to do it until we finish this body. But your surprise for the day is a hat. Surprise for Miss C, who challenged herself to make a hat a day for KK. And made a hat? Yes, Miss C made a hat. And I created a pattern. Actually, I had created it when I did the bunnies blankets. You remember the bunny blankets that we did last year, 2 years ago, maybe? I don't remember now when it was. But Kim! And Nisi, I haven't forgotten you. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Vicky, hello, hello. And hello, Jennifer. And there's my cousin Dee. Dawn P stops in sometimes. I don't know if she's here. Sometimes she just comes in and sits quiet in the corner. She's kind of a quiet person, and she doesn't always call attention to herself. So sometimes she comes in and sits over there by the refrigerator. So if she's here, I need to tell her, hey, Jen, I need to tell Dawn that she needs to go check out Christy's Crochet Creations by Christy. She needs to go check her channel out. This morning's live. She needs to check that out. She comes in once in a while, Leanie, but sometimes she'll come in but just sit quietly and she doesn't comment. She's a busy beaver. Maisie, Hello, hello. I haven't seen you for a while. And Marsha Lee. You know, it's amazing. Marsha Lee's blind, but she always finds me. I think that's hilarious. And I'd have to tell you this, if she doesn't find me, she calls me on the phone and says, "Where were you?" Sunitha! Good morning, good morning. Maisie likes the bushes too. A lot of people come and just sit in the bushes, and that's fine. All I ask is that you leave your thumbprint, leave some epithelials on the like button, and I don't even care if you do that because I'm not monetized. So I don't know how it affects me if you do or you don't. I don't know. Nisi, you need hours? I'll put you on the other one and just run through. Do I what, Vicky? Oh my gosh, my mouth went a. Oh, you know what? I got the scissors out and I clipped, and you know what I did? Um, can you see there? I clipped my knuckle. I clipped my knuckle. I never can get this right. There, I clipped my knuckle, but it's healing really nice. So, Angela, my angel in the frozen stone. Yes, I do know how much yarn approximately. It takes about 200. Well, let's see. These I Love This yarns, they have 252 yards, and I have some left over. It takes about, on a 4-weight yarn, if you do the regular feet and the regular ears, it takes about 220. If you make the longer ears or longer legs, it's going to take more like 230. But one skein of yarn normally will make a bunny. And if you don't have any, let me know. Oh, Rosie. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you guys are all coming in today. You know, I look forward to Wednesdays when I can sit in this chair and watch the door and watch all of your smiling faces come in. It just lifts my spirits. It makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. Tried to give yourself bangs? I did see that cut. And you know what happens, Sunitha? You've got just enough body in your hair that when you pull them down and cut them off where you want them, they spring back up and they wind up being a little shorter. But give it 2 weeks and it'll be absolutely perfect. Whoever did it did a good job because I love the new haircut. And I have to tell you, I did not like you old and gray. I like it much better, the color that it is. I'm not much into Vicky, I'll tell you what you do. You instead of going on your legs, instead of going 22, go 20 and make this a different color. Make it a tan or a light pink like a bunny foot would be. And that saves you some also. And when you do your ears, let's see if I have an ear handy. Of course, I have an ear handy. I have a bucket full of bunny parts. it is. There's a couple ways you can do your ears too. This one is 6, 12, 18, 24. And then I did 24 up to 10. And then I started decreasing. You decrease 2 every odd row. You can go ahead at this point on row 10 or 11. I like to use the odd rows for decreased rows because that sticks in my mind, and my mind is not always available when I need it. So you go 10 rows, and then the 11th row, you decrease back down to 18. And then you go maybe a couple rows and you decrease down to 12. And then you just do 12 for the rest of the way. That will cut some yardage off if you're unsure. Do the body first and the head next, because you have to have those. The ears you can play with and the feet you can play with, because you can put different colors in the feet, and that takes up, I don't know, maybe a yard and a half. And so you've got 4 or 5 yards of a different color that you've taken off of your main color. And that works out really well. So I think to tell you would be make one and you learn. The more you make, the more tricks. Ask Pebbles. The more you make, the more tricks you learn how to change up and trade out and get what you want and the look that you want. And that's what makes those bunnies so personable, so that when you give them away, people can see your personality in that bunny. And it makes that bunny not just a stuffed rabbit. It makes that bunny something special, because you put your time and your effort and your love into it. And people feel that. I've had them grab them and just shoulders shake with emotion. Not anything that I have done except make the bunny, but it's made a connection between their heart and God, and they feel that love. And it's just the most awesome thing. You have the personal satisfaction of knowing that you made that rabbit and it got to the right person at just the right time. And there's no other feeling in the whole world than that's any better. Yeah, you can make your, I have done bunnies for little people that have a purple body and one blue arm, one red arm, one orange leg, and one yellow leg and green ears. I mean, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm here, Bonnie. You're working on the body now. Okay. You can add color anywhere. You have the ears and the legs done. Okay. You know what you can do is when you can stop right here if you want to with this color and put a shirt on him, a different colored shirt. I mean, there's 1,000 things you can do. And they're all fun. And the people on the other end have no idea what you did, because they're not looking at, oh, she must have run out of yarn because this is a mistake. They're not looking at that. You're the only one that knows that you ran out of yarn and had to use a different color. They have no idea. They just see that thing, they see the love that's in it, they see the unconditional love in it, and they love it. Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. Did you see the cut on my knuckle that where is it? Here. Oh yeah, it had to be that finger, didn't it? I you know, clipping, clip the knuckle. So, but it's healing up really nice. There's Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Row 21. Where are we? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We're at 16. Oh, Bonnie, that sounds like fun. Anyway, to all of you oldies and all of you newbies, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get started. I think that's a 5. 4.5. 5. Okay. That's the new hat. I can't wait to show you the new hat. When we were making the blankets, the bunny in the meadow and the bunny by the shore and the bunny by the fence. I'm not sure if there was a 4th one or not. You guys will know, and you're always so good to tell me. You're right, Marshall, because we are imperfect. And if they see an imperfection, then they know it's real. They feel like it's real and for them because they're imperfect. Okay, let's get the camera. I don't think there's anything else I need to be talking about right away. I haven't done a whole lot. I made some extra hats. Finished my Bubba Birds. I don't know. Two things I want to tell you. One, I watched Crystal Bag a Day, and she can no longer crochet at this point in her life because she has Dupuytren's contractions in her fingers. And if she doesn't stop crocheting, it'll be permanent and she won't be able to use her hand. And she also has carpal tunnel, I think she said. So between the two, she's not crocheting anymore, and it's breaking her up because it's what she does. It's who she is. She has over 1 million people in her channel because when her channel started out, she actually crocheted a bag every day, which is where she got her name, Bag O' Day. And then she went on to do other things, and lately she's been doing hats and working on other things, and I am so thankful that she was able to work a connection with Mary Maxim to promote her yarn. They helped her with yarn. She picked out colors, she picked out names, they accepted all of it. They said, "Carte blanche, you got it." Um, and so at least she's going to have that as income. She still will keep her channel. I just don't know yet. She doesn't know yet what she's going to be doing on her channel. So she's giving away a lot of yarn. If you want yarn, you might want to go over there and sign up or whatever she says you need to do for that, because she can't crochet anymore. She's not going to keep that yarn. And by the time, more than likely, that she can crochet again, if she decides to have the surgery, which I don't think she's decided yet, there'll be a whole lot more um, yarn out there, newer yarns. So go over, check her out. I I hurt for her because I know how much I like to crochet, and I know how much I really enjoy creating new patterns for hats. And to the point where I promised KK a hat a day, and I challenged myself to make a hat a day. And you just can't sit there and make 10 hats out of the same pattern. I can't. I have never been um, a, a, a line worker, whatever they call those people. I've never been able to sit there and do the same thing over and over again. I'm ADHD. I'm probably autistic. I don't know, but I can't do it. So I am really enjoying the challenge of making a hat a day. Sherry, yes. I know. I just, it broke my heart when and you could feel the emotion in her voice. And I think I saw shock. It's like, I can't crochet anymore. And she hadn't really fully processed that yet. So she will come to terms with that. She will. She's strong. She couldn't have survived this long without having inner strength. But she'll survive this. I'm kind of excited to see in what way what's going to be the new way for her. MJ Off the Hook also has an association with Mary Maxim, and they have started a new line of yarn for her. Now, I've not watched many of her channels, so I don't know how they got together, and I don't know how the yarn is, what it is, how it's named. With Crystal and her love for Freddie Mercury, all of her yarns are patterned after his favorite colors, his mixture of colors. They're named places or songs that it's all about Freddie Mercury. So I don't know how MJ Off the Hook did hers. I know she has some beautiful patterns. I There's one pattern I'd like to have, but I just can't get that. And there's a lot of other patterns out there. I don't need to get it, but yes, it is, Sherry. I've got 6, 7, I think 7 or 8 skeins, two colors I have. Anyway, I just don't know what to make of it because it's so beautiful, and I don't want to make a hat out of it because it would make a beautiful hat, but it's like I can use other yarns for hats, but this is special yarn. It's kind of like the bougie yarn that hangs on my wall, most of which wool I've given to my cousin Dee. Susan It was Barbara. What did Susan ask? I will do that. I will do that. I'll tell you what, Susan, send me an email. Send me an email and ask me for the patterns and give me your address. And I know I have it. It's in the book, but if you'll do that, then I'll have it all together and I'll get it done. Otherwise, it goes down and zings off and then I don't remember it. So I don't want to do that. Yes, she has fades or blends or what are they called? Tonals. They're called tonals. Here is a tonal of hers. And this one is the Garden Lodge. I think this is my favorite of hers because I'm a lover of green. But this is her label, and it's got about Bag O' Day. Millions of crochet enthusiasts have fallen in love with Crystal Deedman and her YouTube channel, Bag O' Day Crochet. Mary Maximus proud to partner with Crystal to create this one-of-a-kind anti-pill acrylic yarn, sure to excite yarn lovers everywhere. And that's right on the label, which is really, really nice. Quite a tribute to her. Tonal hues. She also has solid colors now that perfectly match these tonals. And she also has a sparkle line that is solid colors with sparkles in it. So you can mix and match and come up with lots of beautiful scarves and hats and shawls and mittens or fingerless gloves. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you, Leanie. Oh, rotator cuff. Yeah, that's what's bugging me right now, both of them. All right, well, let's get to this. Let's get to the rest of this because we're almost 1 hour in. So let's go settings, camera, depths tech camera, allow, and here we are. Here we are. Let me center this. I think that's it. And we are on row I think row 17 is where we are. Let's see how many well, what are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. Okay, that's what we're doing. This row is a decrease. 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. And I do a front loop only. Pick up both front loops, yarn over, pull it through. So that's one stitch now, and that's my decrease. 1, 2, 3. Pick up the next 2 front loops for a decrease. I'm really thankful that I use this finger and not this one for crocheting, because I wouldn't be able to crochet either, but I can, so that makes me happy. 1, 2, 3, and a decrease all the way around. If anybody wants the pattern for the Somebunny, all you have to do is Gmail me, and I think I got it up on the screen. Yeah, if you want the patterns for the blankets, I'll put them up on the screen. And if you want the pattern for the hat after you see it, I'll post that, because it's so simple, but it is so pretty. I really am happy with the way it came out. Almost at the end here. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, and the last 2 stitches. All right. Now, what? You see how this has changed colors from the lightest pink all the way up to this beautiful dark pink. '18 says, I'm doing this my way too. I'm just gonna do to 21. I'm going to do, let's see how many stitches we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32. It says we have 32. I don't know how we got 32, but that's okay. This is 19, I believe. Sally Stevens. Boy, I missed a whole thing. I love Tank. I've loved her from the very beginning. I'm not sure what all that was about, but it doesn't really make any difference. It is what it is what I say. And I don't even know how that came up. I am glad to be able to tell you that Butterfly Jeannie has graduated with her AA in registered nursing, and she is coming back to the YouTube streets. I am so excited about that. She just has a pizzazz personality. It could be. YouTube does some strange things, you know. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We're going to go 2 and a decrease. Mr. Elmo is home today. And usually his son comes over and helps him out in the yard. But he was on the phone this morning with someone. I don't know who he was on the phone with. We even though we're the only 2 people here in the house, we still keep our personal lives to ourselves. So I don't always know what's going on, and it's none of my business anyway. He owns the house where I live, and that's where we are. So he came in to tell me to break a leg, which he does every Sunday. And then he said, I'm going outside. And he took the phone with him. So I'm not sure what that phone call was all about, but like I said, it's not my business. And if he needs to share, I listen. I'm like my bunny. I listen, but I don't share what he shares with me because, like I said, it's not my business. And you know yourself, if things were different, things would be different, but that's the way it is. Dory? No one knows what's going on with Zoila. I'm missing so many things. Angela Branham. Yeah, I've really missed Jeannie too. Like I said, I missed her personality. She just was a lot of fun, and she always had something going. You know, always had something going on her channel. All right, I'm going up to row 21. So I can kind of get bits and pieces of the chat. It's the only bad part when you're doing a tutorial is you have to concentrate on what you're doing and you don't always get to read the chat. And then my chat, I don't know what it's doing. It's something weird. Is Zoila still taking care of her mother? I don't know. You know, whenever you think you're having a bad day, think about all the people who are having a worse day. And you set those side by side with yours, and you know what? Yours doesn't look so bad after all. It might be bad for you, but in the overall, I just keep thinking of the people in Ukraine that came to the United States because they are being bombed. And now they are having to leave. They're deporting Ukrainians because they've been here too long or something stupid like that. I don't get it. I know you can't open the country and let everybody in. That's not a feasible thing. And I know if you let in people from a certain country, then you have to give them time to change from being that country to being Americans. And there's a lot to go through to being an assimilated American. We've got the best country in the whole world. We've got more freedoms than we know what to do with, to the point where a lot of people abuse their freedoms. We have the freedom to talk. We have the freedom to tell government, hey, I don't think this is right, because we are a government by the people and for the people and of the people. And if somebody's in there that's not doing what they're supposed to, by golly, I say vote them out next time. All right, I'm going to stuff this little guy and get off of politics because I don't like talking politics. But I don't want people coming in and ruining my great country either. I'm proud of the United States. I was a bluebird growing up, and we were taught to be proud of the country that we live in and be proud of our flag and to be proud to be an American. Now, my heritage is Scottish. My people come from the Highlands and the Northern Highlands of Scotland. I mean, the very Northern Highlands of Scotland. And they were burnt out by the British and came to America. They worked hard. They fought in the wars of American wars. They fought as Americans. They didn't fight as Scottish people. They were so happy to be in America and be free. to do what they wanted to do and not have to worry about what might happen next week. There was a comedian that came from Russia, and one of his jokes was, I see on American furniture a tag that says, we stand behind every couch we make. He said, that is not new. In Russia, the KGB stand behind your furniture. And I was just old enough to catch the irony in that. And I thought it was the funniest joke I had heard and the saddest joke I had ever heard. I don't know, Sherry. I know that he didn't ask my permission as an American. Okay, let's see. Where are we? We're going up to 27 now, I think. I have always believed that God has given me exactly what I need. And if I needed more, I would get more. And if I, by some chance, am given more than what I need, that says to me that I need to share it with those who don't have. I don't believe in standing in a cubicle and handing out everything that I have to all of the people in the line. That's never worked for me. But I also believe that if you need, and you know I have, you can ask me and I will do my best. I've always been like that. Well, no, not always. I've always been, in growing up, I was so selfish. I took the biggest piece of cake and ate the most ice cream and always had the best and gave my sister the second choice. I wasn't a very nice person growing up, but God got a hold of me and said, whoa, I'm giving you a second chance. And I don't always make it, but I try my best to say what I do and do what I say and mean it and give of my extra. Life changes. Sherry, you know what? We had these beautiful flowers out in Elmo had built a walled garden out by the viewing stand so that we could go out there and sit and have lemonade in the summer or coffee in the mornings. It's really, really a nice place. And he did all of these beautiful flowers in pots throughout the garden. And the deer came through and ate them all down to the ground. Oh, I was so disappointed. Oops. Who's calling? I'm going to decline. That's my sister. I'll call her back later. She knows that. Hello, Gloria. Gloria, you almost won this morning. You got right to the end. Got off and got back on. I was watching Christy this morning. I like to watch her. And I'm kind of sad that she's only going to be on every other week now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. Okay, we're going to 27. Oh, that's my sister calling on the other phone. I'll call her back when I get off of here. I think Mr. Elmo's still outside. Jen, you can call her. Call her, find out what's going on. Jen's like an orphan. When I'm up at my sister's, she'll come and pick me up. She's my driver while I'm up there, and we'll go around to all these different places and snoop and poke and have a bunch of fun. And then she comes back to my sister's house, and we sit there and we talk till midnight. Well, not really midnight, but late. I worry about her driving home in the dark, but she's like a niece, you know. She's part of the family. I have to say I rely on her when I go up there. I love it. She has yours. Okay. Well, what Mr. Elmo did was to put up a fence. He just got some black plastic fencing or vinyl fencing, I guess it is, and he's put that up around the wall part of the garden. The wall's not very tall. It's probably only about 3 feet tall, and most of it has either pots setting on it or plants growing out of the open parts of the blocks. And then behind that is a whole, maybe 2 foot section of canna lilies or canna lilies, however you pronounce them, some ginger, and something called a butterfly lily that is absolutely gorgeous. It has creamy white blossoms on it that look like butterfly wings. It's just beautiful. But that's between on the back of the wall, between the wall and the big barn. All right, let's see where we are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. We're at 25. Okay, 25. But he put a fence around behind the cannas. They're not eating them, but he's got a fence around them, and at the end of the viewing stand, both ends of the viewing stand, so that they can no longer get in there and eat the flowers or the plants, or the flowers and the plants. And to ensure that they don't go close, he's hung strips of blue and yellow plastic material, because deer apparently can see yellow and blue, and they won't go near it. So whatever he's done, it's working. They haven't been back in there. All right. One. And I don't like it that they get it so close. Let's see what we can do here. We'll try that. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2. I have heard that, Sherry. I don't know. I suppose you can buy it in a bottle somewhere as a deterrent. Sure would deter me. We have about 6 of them that come through the yard morning and evening. Okay, I've got 2 more rows to do and I'm done. Blood meal? I don't know. I've never heard of that, Vicky. Have to check that one out. I don't mind if they go out the rest. He's got a hectare of yarn, which I guess a hectare is about 2 1/3 acres, or little over 2 acres anyway. I don't care if they go around the rest of it because there's plenty of grass and things out there, uh, limbs hanging low that they can eat, and I don't have a problem with that. I love seeing them in the yard. I love sitting on my front porch and watch them go through. Sometimes they'll go from the hard road in the front to the back, which is where the old creek was, and they'll go back the back way. And other times they'll come across the road into my yard, or our yard, his yard. It's been mine for 16 years. And I want to count this one because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so I'm going to do I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like the neck to be too skinny, then the head is too wobbly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15. And I've got one left, 16. That ought to be big enough to set a head on. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to crochet 2, and I'm going to cut off a length, a tail, to sew the head on. And then I'm going to fill up the hole. Tammy! Hello, hello. I'm glad you made it in, sweetheart. Now, I do stuff the body pretty firm. And I do make sure that the neck is stuffed really firmly because that's what holds the head up. And I don't stuff the head very firm because I don't want it to be too heavy. Alrighty, there's my poochie belly. And my bunny. Okay, I'm going to go back up to the big camera and I'm going to show you some things. And then I'm going to show you the hat because we still have time to do the hat. And I really want to show you that hat because I'm really proud of it. All right, I'm going to take this off of here. I think I can. Yes. We have tomatoes and squash out there. Okay, so here's my poochie bunny with this little tummy. And there's the top, which has got a big enough. They want you to go down to 12. And I just can't go down to 12. That's too small. And my head would wobble on that. So there's the body. Next week we'll do the head next week. How's that? I love this little poochie belly. Okay. I have been working on hats, as you know. And I don't know if I can get through here. Hang on a second. Production line is what I'm trying to think of, guys. Production line. And I have never been a production line person. And I hope I never get to be a production line person, because I think that would be very boring. Okay, I saw this pattern and I liked it. Country Cottage beanie. And I liked it. And it is basically it's by the Turtle Trunk. And it's a free pattern. You can download it. And it uses a medium weight yarn and a 5.5 millimeter hook, or an eye hook. You make a magic circle. This starts out with 8, 16, and 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, and 64. And once you get the crown done, then the pattern for this hat is a front post double and a double crochet around. And a chain 2, front post double. Then the next round is double crochet, front post double crochet. And when you join it and chain 2 up, and then so you're doubling in the front posts one row, and you're front posting on the doubles in the next row. Anyway, it came out very nice, and I like the texture of it. And I got to thinking that's really similar to something that I know, but I don't remember what it was that I know. So Pebbles is good. She's working on some she lost Maverick, her service dog, and she's working on training a new one, and the training is not going well. Let's leave it there. Yarn works. Lydia. Love that, Lydia. Okay, so I did a hat. And this hat is the pattern from the very beginning, 6, 12, 24, let's see, no, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's what it is. But what I did was, if you remember the blanket that we did, by Somebunny by the woven fence, that pattern, that's what this pattern is. This is the woven fence pattern. So instead of doing in the top of the stitch, I went between the stitches. And when I got to an increase, I put 2 stitches in between the stitches. And I did 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But they're between the stitches. And that's how it comes out. And I liked it so much that even though I'm not an assembly line person, I made another one. And I really, really like this stitch. It's very, very simple. It's much more decorative than a regular double crochet on the top of a double crochet. And I love it so much that I am doing an assembly line of them. So I thought today, in the time we have left, I'm going to show you how to make this hat because it's super simple. It's just a 60 stitch hat. That's it. Okay, so I ran out of this yarn because I made another hat. So I ran out of this yarn. So I'm using this yarn. And I don't know whether you can see it or not. Yeah, you can. See the flecks in that? It is the same color as the flecks in this. So, and there's enough white in the hat that I think I'll be able to do this successfully. But I got some pink lemonade in bitty stripes, and I have been wanting to use this. And I didn't know what to use it for. And then I thought, I think I'm going to make a hat out of it. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to use the Somebunny by the woven fence pattern. So here we go. Grab your 4 weight yarn. Grab your 5.5 millimeter hook. I think so too, Tammy. I'm going to switch back to the other camera because I'm really excited about this. I really love this. All right. 2 fingers and a thumb. Wrap it twice. Up over my index finger. Now this is how I crochet. So, and I'm going to hold it here. And then I'm going to go in and snag it. Well, of course it's not going to want to cooperate. I'm going to snag it. This does not count as a stitch. And then I'm going to chain 2. And this does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to put in 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I wasn't really sure about this bitty stripes in the beginning, but since I've used it in several projects, it makes up nicely, and no matter what you do. All right, then I'm going to pull my tail. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and my chain 2. So I'm going to pull the tail till I get this little circle, and then I'm going to pull the little circle until I close up the big circle, and then I'm going to pull the tail until I close it up. Tuck that tail, and I'm going to my chain 2, I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. And that is not a stitch. It's just a filler. This just fills in the gap between these 2 stitches. Now I'm going to chain 2 so that I get up to the height of my first double crochet. Yarn over, and between this chain 2 and this first double crochet, instead of going into the stitch, I'm going in between this chain 2 and the first double crochet. Now I'm going from 10 to 20, so I need to put 2 stitches in between. Okay. Now instead of going into the top of the next stitch, I'm going in between these. Whoops, yarn over. 1, 2. And in between the next 2 is 5 and 6. And Diana, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, pull some more yarn out here. 15, 16, 17, 18, and the last two, 19 and 20. And these two stitches, 19 and 20, would have normally gone in the top of this last stitch, the top of the last double crochet, but it goes into the space before it, between the last two stitches. And then we're back to our chain 2. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 and chain 2. So there you have your 10 and 20, and they've gone in between the stitches instead of in the top of the stitches. So we're going to do 30 this round. I'm going to yarn over, and instead of going into the top of the stitch, we're going in front of the stitch and do 1. And in between the next 2 stitches, in front of this one, we're going to do our increase. 2, 3. And we've made 1, 2, 3 stitches out of 1, 2 stitches. So in this one, we'll do 1, and this one will increase. 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, all the way around. Did I miss something, Leanie? Did I miss something? Did I miss a question? One. Now you'll notice that your increases are coming in the middle of your last increase. We did 1, and we're going to do an increase in this increase. 1, 2, and in between these, we're going to do 1, and in this increase, we're going to do 2. 1, 2, 3. One, Dory just had a bone pillow giveaway. I only got to watch part of it. I don't remember if that was the day I got kidnapped or what happened, but I only got to see a part of it. Every once in a while, she does a bone pillow giveaway. I'm telling you, I think I have, well, I ordered a bunch of them when she was doing a big auction for something, and I bought a bunch of them to give as gifts. And I think what I have left is three or four I have left, and they are in various places. One's in my recliner. One is in the blue room, which you know I use as a crochet room. I have all the rooms now because nobody's here but me. But I have one in my rocking chair in the upstairs common room. Okay, when we get to our last increase, we're going to put an increase in. And then we're here at the chain 2, because we're not putting anything in here because this is the chain 2, and this is our last double crochet, and we put an increase in there. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 and chain 2, and then instead of going into this top of the double crochet, we're going to go in front of it with 1. This is just a single. We're going to do 1, and here we've got our increase. We're going to put our increase in here. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Increase in the increase. 1. We're changing colors, guys. We're going from 3, 4. We're going from yellow lemonade to pink lemonade. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way around. Always increasing in the increase. Did you get one, Leanie? I love mine. I love mine, plural mine. All of mine. Sometimes I use it down in at the lower back, and sometimes I use it around my neck. I have to tell you, the one I love the best is the one that Mia sent me. She sent me the one that sits in your lap and goes around your waist. And that has helped my shoulders more than you can imagine. A chicken pillow? Put a comment on my Saturday live from my house and you can win a chicken pillow. Oh, how fun, Dory. I'm going to have to go back, and I didn't see that from yesterday's live. Oh, see, I missed one right here. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is coming out so pretty. You know, some of the yarn has a longer color portion, and some of them have real short color portions, and you never know how they're going to come out until you actually try it. This one, I think, has just enough of one color to be very pretty, because even this pink is different shades of pink. All right, we're back at the end. We're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space and chain 2 so that we get up to double crochet height. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and increase. 4, 5, and 10 stitches we started with. This is our 50th stitch round. But you see how this little bit makes a difference because it's over the top of that stitch, not through the stitch. It's over the top of that stitch, and it just gives it a little bit more texture. I just love the way this is coming out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, Gabriella. I'm so happy you came in. We are working on a woven fence beanie. Instead of going into the top of the double crochet, we're going in between the double crochets. We're weaving in between. And we are on row 5, and we're doing 5 stitches, 4 double crochets, and an increase. And all of the increases come in the increase stitch. So you can keep track of it. 1, 2, 3. And here's my increase stitch from last. I'm going to go in between there in that V stitch and make another V stitch, which is our increase. Whoops, not through the stitch, through between the stitches. I still catch myself going in the top of the stitch if I've been disrupted, and I forget, and I have to go back and pull it out and redo it. But I think it's just coming out so pretty. I'm really proud of this stitch. I think what I'm really proudest of is taking the woven fence, the blanket, the bunny by the woven fence, and turning the stitch into a hat. Sometimes we think, oh, I can only do a ripple in a blanket. No, you can do a ripple in a scarf. You can do a ripple in a hat. You just have to figure out the numbers. It's all a math game. I've learned so much by doing a hat a day. You can ask Sunitha. After a while, you can pretty much judge whether your crown's the right size, whether the hat itself is the right size. You're leaving, Sally? I love you. Take care. You've still got about a quarter hour. But this might be kind of boring if you're not making a hat. You've already said howdy do to everybody. And now you have to watch Miss C's old hands. And there is the last increase, which is 49 and 50. We're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 and chain 2 more to get us up to the next row. And then the stitch won't go in the top. It goes in between the chain 2s and that first stitch. It goes in front of that first stitch, as if you're picking up the stitch, but you're going in between, just giving it a little more texture. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're back at our increase. 5 and 6. And we do that all the way around, and that is our 60 stitches in the woven fence hat pattern. And here we're at the increase. So we're going to increase. I thank all of you who are sticking with me to the very end. That means a lot. 5 and 6. 1. This is you probably don't even have to write the pattern down because it's so similar to well, especially Bag O'Day's crown. She just does 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. She does them in the stitch, though not between the stitches. And Sunitha does like a bazillion hats, so pretty easy. 4, 5, 6. Crochet Queen, hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. We are doing a crown of a hat using the woven fence pattern from the Somebunny by the Woven Fence a couple years ago. It's just a little bit of an alteration. Instead of going in the top of the stitch, we're going in between the stitches, and our increases are in the increases from the row below. It's a really simple pattern, but so pretty and so nice. The texture is nice. It's just simple. And here's our increase. So we're going to increase here. Put 2 doubles in there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is beginning to look a little bit like raspberry lemonade. One, 2, 3, 4. And in the last increase, we put our last increase. The last increase of the hat. Because that's our last stitch, and we go in front of the last stitch and increase in the increase. This is our chain 2s. We're going to go into the chain 2 and slip stitch, and we're going to chain 2 so we get the height for the next stitch. Now we are finished with the crown of the hat, and I usually put my palm on it, and it comes pretty close to where my fingers are. And that tells me it's the right size. So I can start the main body of the hat. And again, we're going to double crochet in between the stitches in front of each stitch. In front of this one. In front of this one. Instead of going into the top of the stitch, we go in front of it. In the space between the two. When we get to our increase, we already have 60 stitches, so we don't need to increase in this anymore. So we'll just put 1 in there. And that's our 6th stitch. And we'll do the next 6 stitches. Putting 1 stitch in between the 2 stitches on the previous round, all the way around. And at the end of this round, you should still have 60, not 70, because we're not putting a second one in there. We're not increasing again. So we should still have 60 stitches. And you'll see at the end of this round that the hat is beginning to come straight down. Because we're no longer increasing. Zachman and Susan Burke have arrived. How you doing, Zachman? Are you working today? Or you have today off? You know, YouTube is a good way to make friends. Because I find that everybody that comes in the cottage is very friendly and likes having good friends. And that makes me feel good because I hope each and every one of you know that you are loved here. And when you are here, you are not only loved, but you are safe. And nothing can hurt you here. And you are given unconditional love, knowing that the people here love you exactly the way you are. You don't need to change anything. We love you just the way you are. And you bring something special to the cottage when you come. And if you have to miss a day, we miss you. All right, I'm back around to the beginning. There's my last slip stitch. And you can see how this is starting to curl up. Actually, it's curling down. And that is the top of the hat. And from here out, when you crochet, you're going to do your 60 stitches, same as always, in between. And I always use my hand for measurement. Like Sunitha, I use my hands for measurement. And I fold my hat in half from the center 10 and fold it in half. I put my palm on the center half. And you can see I'm only to the knuckles. I usually wait till I get out here to these knuckles or almost to the end of my fingers, and then I start my brim. And the brim I did on this one is front post, back post, front post, back post. And there's the beginning. And you can see I went almost, this isn't holding up real well today. I went almost to the end of my fingers before I started the brim. And on this one, I did the moss stitch brim and went just about to the end of my fingers before I started the moss stitch brim. But I really do love these hats. And I think they are so pretty. And I'm really excited about making them. There's that one. All 4 of them. All right, going back to the big camera because we've got 5 minutes. And you know I like to use that last 5 minutes to get prayer requests. There we are. I think so too, Sunitha. I think I showed you that I have a cutting board, an Olfa. I think it's an Olfa mat. Anyway, it could be the other one. The Hobby Lobby has a gray one, and it's all marked off in 1 inches. But sometimes I use that, but mostly I use my hand method because my hand is it just seems to be the same size. So here are the hats. This one I like. This one was the first one I did, and I really like it too. This shows up. It's not a solid. It's a what do you call it? It's a Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, and it is the color coralline, but it is a stone wash. That's the stone wash, and you can see it's different shades of the coral in there. And that's how this one came out. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then the next one I did was this one, and this is soft and sleek. And I like the way the colors came out in it. This side is darker. I don't know which side I like better, the gray one or the black one. And then I started this one. And I haven't got enough of the body yet to do anything with that one yet, but I'm working on it. And then this is the one that I started this morning with all of you. And this is the Bitty Stripes, the pink lemonade color. So pretty. So pretty. It'll go just fine, Zach, man. You got a Bitty Stripe on clearance? That's awesome. Ellen said something about Facebook has a marketplace, and she was able to snag a bunch of stuff from marketplace. I did not know, I was not aware that Facebook had anything called marketplace where you can go and sell your stuff. I didn't know that. All right, let's see who is in need of prayers today. Oh, soft and sleek. Yeah. Oh, they had a lot of the soft and sleek, and I did get a bunch. I did get a bunch. They have such pretty colors, and there's enough in there to make 2 hats. Now, I did have to put a different color brim on the second hat, but this hat is a little bit bigger than the first hat that I made. So, but I think it came out, it started with the white, which really isn't white. It's kind of a really super light gray, and I finished it with the white, but I think it looks okay. It looks like a real hat, not like I ran out and have to put something else on it. The moss stitch, that is a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And when you do the next row, you do the single crochet in the chain 1 space. You chain 1 over the single crochet. And you chain 1 over the single, let's see, over the single crochet. You do a single crochet and a chain 1 and a single crochet and a chain 1 and a single crochet and a chain 1 and a single crochet. And when you come back, you do a chain 1 over that single crochet. You do a single crochet in the chain 1 space. Ask Granny D. Granny D, that's one of her favorite stitches. And that's how it looks. Let's see if I can pull it apart and you can see the single crochets and the chain 1 spaces easily. It just gives a nice finished look. I don't know. I like it. I don't put it on all of them, but I wanted something simple that wouldn't take away, and that's what we wound up with. Okay, prayers. She does love her moss stitch. You're right. Okay, I'm going to go back up to see if I missed any prayers. Prayers for everyone, Barbara Andrews says. Lydia. Lydia says, I need some prayers for a family member who had surgery. All right. It doesn't matter, Lydia, because God knows what surgery they had. We do. We all need prayers of some sort. Just watching today, the Crochet Queen says. Susan Burke. Working today, then 3 days off. That's good. All right. Leslie is still looking for a job. Oh, she's got 3 leads this week, or 6 leads this week. So hopefully. All right, Leslie, we're keeping you on the list, sweetheart. Susan Burke. Oh, what's with Mr. Joyful? That's Jennifer. Is it Jennifer? No, I forgot what her name is. Cynthia. Do we know why, Jen? Can't walk on his foot, huh? Well, we'll put down his foot. All right, guys. Thank you for the name. I could not remember her name. Um, I wrote it down, Zach, man, so I won't forget to check on you, okay? I love each and every one of you. Don't forget to put your cups in the sink, throw your papers in the bin, and don't forget your shoes. If there's any scraps on the floor, please pick those up because I can no longer bend over and pick up yarn scraps. And get your buckets. Don't forget to get your buckets. Make sure they're full to the brim when you leave. And may God watch over you until we meet again on Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday. Who knows what's going to happen then? I love each and every one of you, and I'm so thankful that you come to the cottage when you do. And I know that when you miss, you have to miss, but I do miss you when you're not here. So God bless each and every one of you until I see you again on Wednesday. Love you.